Imagine you're sailing on a calm lake, surrounded by the peaceful stillness of the water. Suddenly, a boat crashes into yours. Your immediate response. Anger rises like a tidal wave, and all you can think about is the violation, the injustice. But here's the twist: what if I told you the boat was empty? What if the anger you feel isn't from the collision, but from how you choose to react to it? What if the power to transform your experience lies not in changing the world around you, but in changing how you respond? This is the essence of a powerful Zen story, the tale of the empty boat. A simple metaphor that reveals an important truth about life: external stimuli, the things that seem to upset us, don't always have the power we think they do. We often believe that the world is what causes our pain, but the reality is much deeper. The way we react to the world defines how we experience it. And this, my friends, is something that each of us can change. This message is for anyone who has ever felt overwhelmed by anger, frustration, or the chaos of the world around them. We all know the feeling. Someone cuts you off in traffic, a friend lets you down, or a colleague disrespects you. The wave of anger rises quickly, almost instinctively. But what if, instead of reacting, you paused? What if you remembered the empty boat? In Zen teachings, the story of the empty boat is a reminder that when you are sailing through life, the external world will always challenge you, like the boat that crashes into yours. But if you recognize that the boat, the source of your anger, may be empty, you can begin to detach from that emotional reaction. What if you stopped giving power to things outside yourself and learned to master your internal world? Anger, at its core, is a response to perceived harm, an internal signal telling us that something isn't right. But what if this signal is based on a misunderstanding? What if your anger isn't caused by the boat, it's caused by your belief that the boat was an attack? What if your anger is rooted not in the external world, but in your own interpretation of events? The Zen story teaches us that when a boat crashes into us, it's only a reflection of what's inside us. We might see it as an attack, but what if it's simply an empty vessel, something that can float by without causing us any harm if we choose not to react? The world around us is full of external stimuli, but it is our internal reactions that shape how we feel. Each moment of frustration, each flare of anger, is a choice to engage with the external world. There comes a point in every person's life when they realize they've been holding on to anger that doesn't belong to them. A moment of clarity, when you recognize that the anger you've been carrying, the frustration that has shaped so many of your actions, is based on something that no longer serves you. It's like watching the boat drift away, empty and irrelevant. That moment of realization is a turning point, a shift in perspective that can completely alter the way you experience life. For example, think of a time when you were deeply angry about something someone did. Now, think about it from a different angle. Was their action truly about you, or were they simply an empty boat, floating by, unconnected to you except by your reaction? At that moment, the choice is yours. You can choose to be consumed by the storm, or you can choose to let the boat drift by without it defining your peace. As if it's a threat, or a choice to let it pass by like an empty boat. The truth is, life is full of boats, external events that seem to crash into us, threatening our calm. But the greatest power we have is not in controlling the boats, but in learning to respond with the stillness of the water. Anger will always come, frustration will always rise. But how you choose to navigate those waves is what defines your peace. When you realize the boat is empty, you let go. You release the need for conflict. You choose not to engage in the storm. So, next time you're faced with anger, with frustration, with anything that tries to disturb your inner peace, remember the empty boat. The world cannot control your peace unless you let it. The boat will float by, and you will remain unshaken. That is the power of choice. And that is the wisdom of the empty boat.